Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Now at 6, an exclusive look back at the career of KPRC's main anchor and Houston news icon, Bill Biessa, before he retires.
And why a container of pepper led to a student being suspended from school.
And it was the talk of the town for weeks. Kanye West bringing his Sunday service to Lakewood Church. How far some people were willing to go get tickets to see his performance. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Channel 2 News at 6. I'm Amari Van.
And I'm Brianna Edwards. Tonight only on 2, we celebrate the career of Houston news icon KPRC's main anchor, Bill Biessa. Channel 2's Cassandra Soto tells us more about her exclusive interview with Bill after he announced he was retiring.
Bill Biessa has called Houston home since 1973. I sat down with him to talk about his nearing retirement from a career that began before the Houston skyline was recognizable.
We called it one-man band at that time.
At the beginning of a 49-year career,
there were virtually no Hispanics, very few blacks, and no women. But it was a white man's game, television journalism.
Bill was a pioneer for diversity in the news media.
Houston was not a diverse nor very tolerant city.
Being the face of change isn't always easy, but the passion he found in journalism made it all worth it.
I mean, you've seen what's happened in the last 46 years since I've been here. And I really believe, Cassandra, that that's the result of the news media. I think that the stories we covered, the way we covered them, shone a light on how we were. And slowly over time, we evolved into the city you see today.
Telling compelling stories around the world, what once made up a hard day's work are now memories that he will cherish for a lifetime.
You hit all your deadlines. You didn't miss a slot. You had good stories. That feeling, Cassandra, there's nothing in the world like that sense of accomplishment. And it's as hard and challenging as that kind of assignment is, it's what makes me keep accepting them, because that high that I just described, I mean, there's nothing in the world like that.
Holding the position of main anchor at Channel 2 for 29 years, Bill is known as a Houston icon by his community and colleagues. But he says his career was never about the spotlight.
It's kind of surprising to me. I've never sought that type of prestige, if you can call it that.
After a life of service, Bill says the story of his career is complete. All that's left is family time.
We'll travel, see family, catch up on things we haven't been able to do in the 28 years we've been married, and celebrate the fact that I had a great career, and just smile back on y'all who are still doing it.
Some well-deserved rest for a man who's done so much for the Houston community. We truly, truly wish you a happy retirement, Bill. From downtown Houston, Cassandra Soto, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Wow, Bill's career is an inspiration to all of us.
That was a really great story that Cassandra did.
Really was. Lakewood Church featured mega star Kanye West recently. After he was invited by Pastor Joel Osteen, the highly anticipated collaboration had everybody wondering how to get their hands on a pair of tickets. A show that was like no other, filled with faith, conviction, and dancing. Kanye West came to Houston's own Lakewood Church, led by Pastor Joel Osteen, to perform his popular Sunday service. This combination sent fans in a frenzy on how they would be able to get in the hottest seats in town.
Any way possible. any way possible to get the tickets.
That is the drive that Kanye superfan Terrence Brown had when it came to seeing his musical idol perform. While Lakewood announced that the tickets for the service would be free, they were gone within 7 minutes. And soon after, the fake tickets began to emerge.
They're definitely going to find some kind of way to try to hustle up and make their own. Not be capping it off of Jesus. It's all about God.
With a sold-out evening service of 17,000 attendees, Lakewood made a statement warning followers of ticket fraud, saying that tickets being sold on StubHub were non-transferable. The ticket fraud itself did not stop the excitement of the service. Kanye himself said his Houston visit was meant to be.
To the lowest depths of debt, mental health, being there's a term called cancel culture, being canceled by my own race and my own culture. It feels like all of this was meant to be. God has already had the plan.
While Lakewood said the tickets were non-transferable, we found the workaround. Ticket sellers were allowing buyers to use their personal Ticketmaster's account, gaining the fans' entrance and the sellers a fast buck.
Those are some extremes.
Anything to go to church, right?
Frightening news for people who dye or straighten their hair. A new study done by the National Institute of Health has revealed an increased risk of breast cancer in those who permanently dye or chemically straighten their hair. According to the study, those who treat their hair are 9% more likely to develop breast cancer than those who don't. To decrease this risk, the study shows a trip to the salon to have your hair professionally treated is the way to go.
Tonight, a mother and son are battling a school district over seasoning after a container of pepper got the boy suspended. Channel's 2 Mackenzie Mashazik is in studio with more. Mackenzie.
Thanks, Amari. This all began a week ago when the boy's mom says he just wanted to add a little spice to his food.
9-year-old Colin loves spicy food.
He always eats tahini on his fruit, all that seasoning stuff.
That's why his mother claims she wasn't surprised when he brought 4 bags of pepper to school to season his food.
And he always complains about the food. So when he gets home, I'm like, are you hungry? He's like almost starving because he'll not eat it if it doesn't taste right.
She was surprised, however, to learn about it by being called to his school because a student said he had drugs.
They told me that a child reported to the teacher secretly, like wrote a letter saying Colin has drugs. And the child claimed that Colin told him, I have drugs.
Documents show her son was suspended for 2 days for trying to pass off the pepper as drugs.
I'm okay with that. I signed for the paperwork, because that gives me time to talk to my son to see what's going on. And that gave them time to make what they called a final decision.
After her son's suspension ended, she was then told the school decided he'd be sent to the Alternative Learning Center for 15 days.
When she told me about the ALC, that's when I drew the line. I said, I have to fight this because she did let me know that it would follow him throughout his schooling, this drug charge.
She's also afraid that she'll lose her new job because the alternative school doesn't provide busing and she can't leave to pick him up.
So that means me starting a new job. I can drop him off, that's not a problem. But picking him up at 3 o'clock or whenever they release, I can't ask a new job, hey, I have to pick up my son for 2 weeks, I couldn't do that.
I reached out to the school and the district, but they said they couldn't comment on ongoing investigations. Brianna?
Now here's a look at what's on digital. Ellen DeGeneres and former President George W. Bush were seen together at the Cowboys game against the Packers. The talk show host says she received backlash asking, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? After facing an outrage on social media, Ellen started Tuesday's episode of her show with a monologue that the internet can't stop talking about. She defended her friendship with former president, saying, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. To end it, Ellen shared with her audience what she really means when she says, be kind to one another. For more information about what went down, head to click2houston.com.
Downtown Houston will be covered in color this weekend. The annual Via Colori Sidewalk Art Festival will take place Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at Herman Square in front of City Hall. More than 200 local and national artists will come together to create street murals in benefit of the Center for Hearing and Speech. Tickets are $7 online and $10 at the gate.
That sounds like a really fun event.
I will definitely be in attendance.
That's all we have for Channel 2 News at 6. Thank you for joining us.
Remember to stay up to date with news and weather on our KPRC News app and click2houston.com. We'll see you at 10.